We're going to jump on into Champ Select now here. Game 3 here between RNG and versus EDG, and we are finally having ourselves an actual battle royale here. First round, EDG takes game 1, and it was in a very convincing fashion. RNG with not too many chances to really come out of it. Second round, RNG pretty much just nail EDG to the wall and do not let them get back up here. So we're kind of like the champions of LPL, kind of fighting off the spring champions of LPL, and it is showing itself to be a very interesting, very powerful fight here. We've seen really good things out from Scout and company. Actually, did I just get that mixed up? I think I did. I think RNG took the first round because Scout was on the Malzahar in game 1, and then game 2 they actually got themselves back in order. So EDG not exactly choking out just yet. I've been avoiding that pretty well. The Rise, the TF, the Lee Sin ban, the LeBlanc, the Yuumi, and the Jarvan ban, all problem children, all removed from the house. And the Lucian is going to come in here for Gala, maybe even for Zhao Hu. He would not be too shy about taking this top side, and I don't think many of us would complain about it. This does actually bring in, well, Nami didn't get banned out, none of the pieces got banned out, so I think the Nami Lucian is guaranteed, and Viper taking up this Aphelios would be a very good answer. It's just a question of what do they want to actually pair with that. The Leona, oh, they're going to actually run in with the Enchanter versus Enchanter here. It's just a float right now, and John has a cute idea, but definitely not viable, I would say. And the Graves has been a super sustainable pick here for Flandre. So what I think we really want to see out of here is what's going to be like the next pivot or the next major jump in this development of this matchup. And it looks to be like it's going to be a bot lane development. We haven't really seen Lucian at all in this recently, at least in terms of the first 2 days of playoffs. He's been very limited, not really showing up, not even really getting banned out. I don't even think his support was banned out in the series yesterday. So I do appreciate the adjustment we're seeing here. It's looking like we're getting much more. Feels very standard to what we've been experiencing in the playoffs so far, and it doesn't feel like EDG is even really reacting to RNG's. Like the Aphelios is sort of reacting to the Lucian. And did Cryan just lock in the Galio? I'm not too sure. Like this Galio pick demands that Gala and Zhao Hu are on like very high damage carries. So I'm not really, I don't really like this Galio pick. It does provide one of the last globals that are in the mid lane, but Galio's just not done well in this tournament so far. You saw that win rate, it was like 33% or less. Olaf on JJ was great in the last match, because he had the Yuumi attached to him. I'm not sure what else is going to really be done about that. And they've actually left the support open for Mako, and this is going to probably prompt both teams actually have not locked in their support unless Ming's taking the Galio and they're baiting this switcheroo. So right now I'm about to expect a bunch of, okay, I like the Ziggs ban, just to make sure Gala doesn't have the free wave clear option. Thresh getting taken away from the Aphelios is good. We're going to see the Nami banned out. We're going to see the Lulu banned out. Like, those would be my greatest expectations right now, unless EDG are going to try to prioritize an easier lane for Flandre on the top side. Like, Gnar has been played. Renekton's been very unsuccessful. There's the Nami ban. So we're going to see the Lulu ban on RNG side. We're going to end up in like some third tier. Nope, they're going to get rid of Scouts. Zoe. So do we just lock in the Enchanter on EDG side, just bring in the Lulu, and just leave the Lucian without his real combo? Because like Leona's still up and available. Her priority sort of drops away once the Enchanters start entering the arena, although I still think she's like super viable and probably one of the best engaged supports that we have at this tournament. And they're just going to get Scout his Azir, which we've seen on Chovy, Faker, and now Scout. Okay, so mid lane's gonna have, this is super scaling on the side of ADG. Like, now all of the onus for winning this game is on RNG's side here, and that's going to be There's the secure. So last engage support taken into account. It's going to be the recon, which we've seen magic worked on by these supports, these top tier supports. Hylissang introducing it during the playoff, during the second round robin of the group stage here. And it's been sort of a kind of a mainstay of all the engaged supports that are up and available here. I do like that we now are going to have something else to really bolster the Olaf to just go in and just cause and wreak chaos on the RNG's backline. But this also just puts EDG with like Aphelios, with Graves, with Azir. Like the later this game goes, the more it's in EDG's like favor. Xiaohu and Gala can put out a lot of damage, but JJ may end up having a super free time if he even just gets some armor on him and just goes like tank Olaf. Because like Cryan on Galio, regardless of Cryan as a player, is not going to be able to put out a lot of magic damage in these fights. I don't care how this Galio really itemizes. And about as far as I can tell, priority should be actually kind of in the favor of the Lucian. I think it's the only prio lane that actually ends up winning early on here. So, like JJ, yeah, I think it's going to give a lot of prayer over to the Olaf to just have an easy free full clear, and then affect the lanes as he pleases. So how is this actually going to work out here? Because Flandre on this Graves here are going to be way tankier and way more viable for at least clearing out these waves and sort of, you know, killing these dives before they even are allowed to arrive. So there's really a high expectation for a lot of focus, at least on RNG side, to get Xiaohu up and ahead on this Lucian and be able to just sort of take over the game. Meanwhile, EDG are pretty happy, I think, just to play reactively. Flandre being able to, if Flandre could just absorb some of these dives that may happen, or even just trade evenly while EDG cross map or something like that, it could really leave RNG with a lot of problems. So if they want to actually get this game going, they need to have clean dives. They need to have a very clean batch of early laning. And it looks like Flandre and Xiaohu are going to fight early on here, but I don't think Flandre is going to like that one. But JJ? Knockup available, but I don't think they want to really go any further into that. So a little bit of a advantage getting top side with the damages. Alright, so we're not worried about this ward here. RNG just going to let EDG know where Wei is starting his jungle clear. Pretty sure RNG can infer where JJ is starting out. He's starting out actually at his chickens, and he uses that undertow. Probably just do a chickens to red buff to Krugs and all the way across the wolves, maybe? Maybe try and actually mirror in case there's an early gank, which I wouldn't exactly expect here. Like level 2 ganks on Xin Zhao are pretty viable if you can at least get that third auto attack, but it's just a walk up, so I don't think it's going to be happening. I think it's going to be likely. Yep, Viper and Mako gonna have full advantage here. Ming isn't really gonna interact until they get to like level 2, level 3. And even then, if they're gonna be tenderized far too much here, Viper and Mako don't have to really like worry about any worries. They're not gonna have any fear for an engage. Wei's arriving. Oh, here we go. This is going to be the dive set that we were talking about here. Flandre is going to be into major trouble. He's going to have to try to actually prevent whoever wants to engage on this. The taunt's going to go out here. He's going to flash unnecessarily. First blood's going to go over to Xiaohu, and that is clean out of RNG. That is what's needed. That is what is necessary for this team to start winning this game here. Get Xiaohu ahead, have some clean dives, and now cross map happens here. The reaction. JJ poking his head out, looking for an option. They're trying to crash this wave here. JJ's going to actually try to get some of these Krugs while he waits for this wave to crash. But Ming and Gala are wise to the play. They're going to spot JJ. And now can Viper and Co. get some damage onto this turret and at least get themselves a turret plate? Yeah, there's what we're looking for. JJ gonna run onto Cryan. He's gonna be forced to flash. Doesn't even want the slow. Yeah, just clear pressure, got rid of like 10 CS there. So Gala missing out on that. JJ kind of doing a little bit of his job. So that could be a kill, but it is going to at least keep the pressure and keep the advantage in Viper's favor, which is going to be which is kind of lead exactly to what they want. And I think we're about to be time for another dive here. Topside Way is positioning for it. And there's Cryan going. All right, and they should know this. They should be pinging this out here. There's not much Flandre can really do. He's already sort of cut off. He's trying to run away. Waze is going to meet him in the lane. Now it comes the all-in. Waze going to be able to dodge out from the second part. Cryan doesn't even need to use his ult. He's going to get the taunt up, just get the auto attack. They're going to give it to him. Yeah, Xiaohu gets nothing from that other than wave denial, and that should be perfectly fine for RNG. So rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. This is what needs to happen. We're sitting at like a 24 CS lead here for Xiaohu. No teleport on Flandre. This is super punishing for him. There's not much Scout or anyone else can really do. If anything, like JJ's not even reading through this well enough to be there to try to help stop these dives. And I think by the time we got to just that dive, EDG might have just given up on the possibility. JJ cross mapping, getting this Drake is acceptable. I think the worst part right now is actually the fact that Scott's been unable to actually use at least the time that Cryan is away to get any turret plates. Yeah, this is actually going really heavy in at least two different favors here. Flandre's going to be way behind his counterpart. Meanwhile, bot side, Viper and Mako are about 2 turret plates deep. And EDG now positioning themselves for this Herald. So they are They kind of have the early in charge of this game, which really shouldn't be the case on account of what RNG's game plan should be. EDG bringing up all 5 members to secure this Herald, which feels a little bit like overkill. Yeah, Flandre is already heading bot side here. So they're actually splitting the map right now, switching it around here around 8.5 minutes. Should means that Viper and Mako could actually like really punish Zhao Hu, prevent any more significant losses from Flandre, and basically provide Zhao Hu with a neutralized lane where if he wants to try to win it like he was before, he's not going to be able to because there will at least be one, if not 2 other people. JJ's going to show himself here. Wei and Zhao Hu are going to hit pause or something. Not exactly sure who hit pause here. We have a game pause coming in. Now let me use the powers of time travel to investigate how long this is. Alrighty, so let's just jump on in here to post break. I imagine if you listen to the actual game, it'll inform you. The casters will inform you of what happened. For now, we are back, and Zhao Hu and Wei made it out safely. And Herald is in play here. Yeah, Viper with his green and white gun. Gonna have a lot of options. Now they got actually countering H here. Wei's gonna go on in, but it's gonna cost him quite a bit of health here. Ragnarok popped by JJ, and so was the charm by Ming, but it's not gonna really lead to anything at all. And it wasn't enough. So not the best trade of resources there by RNG. Into EDG. Scout being given a little more free time. He's got himself at least 1 turret plate here. 10-minute mark acquired. And Flandre still sitting only at 10 CS behind Zhao Hu. So he's not doing too bad.
It's funny, it's like so many times when you have these split maps, RNG are willing to pay to force Zhao Hu ahead, but the people you're paying are Scout and Viper. And EDG are like, okay, we shall take that deal. Pay us handsomely, we will get our carries fed.
Yeah, it's not the best trade-off there. Giving Scout and Viper any amount of bonus gold over their counterparts is not a recipe for success. Pretty sure, yeah, the gold's dead even right now, but it's like, oh, Flandre is going to meet Zhao Hu again. They're going to try to separate this out. Bullet time comes out. Shield from Mako is more than enough to keep Viper alive through that early game bullet time. So not really going to do much. No. It's kind of, my next question is what wins the next dive topside? Whoops. Because that's sort of like been RNG's bread and butter play. It's been their over and over play. And it's not like they have to do it bot side, but this is where it's going to get interesting. I'm going to go all in. Both jungler ultimates have been spent. Olaf has been cut in half. He should be able to recover that pretty easily with his W. Alright, and now Wei just manhandling and just making Flandre and JJ take the long route here. It's going to give Scout time to get up here. He's going to actually use the Scryer's Boom. Going to spot Wei. And this turret is not going down soon enough. And now begins the chase here. Cryan's going to be able to actually react to this one. I don't know if EDG are calculating for this like they maybe should. Cryan has arrived here. They separate pretty good. And now it's Cryan, Zhao Hu, and Wei trying to either look for a turn back around, taunt up, and blow them up, or just get out alive. It's going to be a turn and sweep here, and he's going to go in too far there. That's going to be a dead Wei knock up on, but that's going to be another trade here. Just JJ has 2 kills for free off the bat. Sorry, Wei. You're not gonna be able to kill the Azir as easily as you think without, or at least you're not gonna be able to kill the Azir without taking retribution for it from his jungler. And then Cryan just reacting maybe too slowly to the turn is a little weird.
Yeah, a lot of extra chunk damage there taken by RNG. Even walking up there, Cryan takes a tower shot before it happens. And with the health lead, EDG feel comfortable forcing it. Does result pretty close here, but the extra pickup still going to be their advantage because bottom side gets to play unattended. Viper Mako
All right.
continue to
So not much else to really like worry about or go on about here. Here comes the extended, at least one extended situation here. They go on and get way down like below half. JJ's trying to heal up off these minions, or at least last hit them, make sure they've got the gold. And Scout's the one that's just like, hey, I can get roots on these guys and we can actually like do something. Full timeout. It's gonna clear out the wave here. He's got to force Viper back. He's on fire. And that could have led to something, but it doesn't look like RNG are gonna do too much about it. And it's gonna be a little bit. That's gonna be quite a bit of damage to the turret, getting Ming into a bit of trouble. But Viper and Maker are surrounded here. It's gonna be 4 available, and here comes Cryan. He gets this taunt off. It's gonna be an absolute danger fest here. Scout's going to arrive as well, and that might be all that RNG really wanted to worry about. Is just get Scout's mobility limited for at least the next while.
Assume that is his shot calling because he's the one who walks up, stays at the tower. He says, we can defend this dive. Lulu, come to me. Mako walks up. They confidently fight them off of that.
And they're just gonna start stealing camps. All cool. EDG is gonna pick up the Herald. Just kind of denying RNG their early game accelerant options, because right now RNG hasn't really gotten a lot sort of done, or as much done as they need to. Don't trust this comp to be able to go super late compared to like the damage output of what a fully built and leveled up Azir and a fully built and probably leveled up mid laner. So Mountain Drake confirmed. Yeah, turret plates are gone. There's like almost a 30-40 CS lead in the mid lane. Cryan gonna have a lot of trouble, especially against like the zoning and range ability of the Azir. Dead even jungler. 20 CS lead for Xiaohu topside, which is like great and all, but he's got to really like make that stick onto something here. Now we're about to have a skirmish fight here. Ming gonna throw what he can here, but Wei, I think he's got overreached just a bit here, and that Gore Drinker from JJ is gonna actually really help bridge this one. And Cryan trying to help his team get out, but he is so low there. The burst damage from Flandre and little whisper, little speck of pressure from Scout just ends up giving them a 2-0, and this is going to end up being like the tier 1 and maybe even a charge onto tier 2. They're trading out right at the same time here, but turret leads over to EDG, and it just doesn't feel like RNG have really had a plan outside of those first 2 dives, and since then they've done nothing. There's been slight movements around the map. There's been, you know, maybe a jungle camp getting stolen from them, and everyone's mythic is online right now except for Cryan's. Actually 40-50 CS deficit might do that to you. So this game's kind of a crawl, but it's very securely like in EDG's hands right now. Drake's might be evenly split. Gold's only 3k gold up for EDG right now, and they've gotten 2 turret advantage over RNG. There's not much else to really write home about here. That it kind of actually ended up feeling like RNG sort of drafted themselves into a hole, and they just don't really have any options to really get out of it at this time. Alright, here comes the dive options again here, but we're at sort of a jungle fight here. EDG not allowing them to get too far into this. Bullet time going to come across the bow here. It's going to put Viper into major damage. It's going to finish him off as well, and that might actually limit a lot of options. Flandra's going to get turned on here. He's going to put out a lot of damage across the bow, but I don't think he's going to be able to do much else than that, and that's only Ming going down here. Support for AD carry in top lane, that's a pretty good trade there for RNG here. And they might start fighting themselves back into this game here. Bot lane tower going into their favor, keeping this even closer. Scout didn't even have to show up for there. No teleport, no problem. He's just going to stay top side. He's going to shove this wave in. Doesn't get the turret, but it's not far from being taken. So very, very good turns there by RNG. Very good looking for the skirmishes and the ways to get themselves back into the fight. Because they end up sort of corralling, and Flandre's like here and ready for this. So it's like JJ, Mako, and Viper try and actually get something done here. They root up onto Wei, but I feel like it's just too early, and it just allows for Ming to just get in and just jump onto Viper. Gala can just ult from a mile away. Doesn't even have to worry about the turret killing him. And the rest is sort of just gravy for RNG. So don't really like the decision making there from Viper, at least when he was using his root. I don't know if they actually knew if Ming was in there, but when you get rid of that stun on Aphelios, it's like your only real easy way to peel out. Yeah, it's just the auto attacks and then the actual stun root from the gravitum gun. So not the maybe not the best little micro decision there. Who knows if it actually ended up being the most important thing when you have a bullet time coming up from below and while people are chasing you from the front. It doesn't really bode well for you. Flandre willing to actually turn on this. We're about to have another 4v3 here. Teleport's coming in here from Scout. He hasn't really been a part of much yet. 1-1-2 when we're at like a 10 game kill situation. Like he hasn't really been a part of any of the fights so far. They've been sort of happening away from him. So Scout still leveling up and getting his gold, getting his items. Right now, actually, Leandri's and an early Hourglass from Scout. I'm debating what he's actually trying to like prevent there, either like a calling or an engage from Wei, Ming, a big knockup from Cryan. I'd usually think for like Nashor's Tooth as first or second item on the Azir, but we'll see about this one. And the burn option for Leandri's is like good for Cryan, but that's like it. Everyone else on the side of RNG is like super squishy. One good Tramer Shuffle from Scout, and this team could end up very much smacked against the wall and down and out. So gold lead only 2,000 now in the advantage of EDG. They've only got like a 2 turret lead here. Sorry. Cloud Drake spawned up. RNG not really positioned to commit to compete for this one. Yeah, Cryan's like halfway across the map, and they don't have the positioning for it. They're not really worried about it. Get their jungle gold and leave from there. Yeah, and Xiaohu's sitting bot side. Continue to actually, this might be the first opportunity that he's had to really expand this gold lead, because Flandre's hung out a bit for quite a while here near mid in the river. He might even actually, nope, you might have seen that. So Flandre going to take the longer way around there on the map to catch this next wave. I almost think that it would behoove Xiaohu to actually have frozen that wave, because there's not any real objectives up right now. Like Baron's fresh, but no one's far enough ahead to really contest it. So freezing that wave from Xiaohu could really actually put a greater divide in between him and Flandre. Because right now it's like a good 40 CS lead, which is, I would put that in the realm of actually significant in terms of just what kind of gold that means, difference that means in the fights. But it's not clear they're actually like doing anything to really keep moving that one up. No. And I think we're gonna enter another lull state here. And everyone's sort of grouping up. Everyone grouping up over here. Scouts shoved out the top wave. And now EDG looking for a fight or something right now. I think they're just trying to take over the river, make RNG guess whether or not they're looking to take the Baron, because I might actually have been wrong before here, because we're like 22 minutes into the game and there's like a item and a half. Viper unfortunately looks like he's going for the collectors for second item instead of LDR. Gala on the other side doing pretty well, I think. At least picking the LDR. Don't actually know what the breakdown is, but difference between like Kraken Slayer and like Eclipse would be like the other like clear number, like top 2 picks I would put for Mythic on Misfortune, just because of the, like, it's overkill at some point with all the lethality, but the lifesteal, the just the swiftness with which I've seen an Eclipse just ruin a squishy in no time flat. It's pretty ridiculous. All right, so yep, EDG in charge of topside here. They've taken pretty much all the vision away. There's no vision in the river. There's no vision near the bear, and RNG is going to be forced to like face check it now. And start clearing out some of this vision, clearing out some of these control wards, and at least get themselves a little bit of vision in the pit. I don't think Viper and Mick are concerned about much else. Purple's going to connect on the way here. He's going to get rooted up. They just need to get close enough here. Crescent Guard's going to come out, and that's not the worst thing in the world to trade out, because if Wei doesn't feel safe or cannot be invulnerable, then it really complicates his ability to get into the Baron pit and steal the Drake, quite possibly. Most of the times, like, the enemy team's entirely in the pit, but it could serve a purpose, is all I'm saying. All right, EDG. So EDG rotating over to like take this tower, but like RNG keep acting like they're gonna like counter this situation somehow. And all that really needs to happen is they get zoned away minorly by like JJ or Scout or something like that. So like RNG sort of lacking on any decision making right now. Like, yeah, like you should have probably someone over in far side trying to take that tier 2. Like, I don't know why Zhao who's here. Lucian's like, an acceptable ADC for like team fight standards, but his power and his, point of pressure, his best use is really as a split pushing option on the solution, I think, here. So if you missed the giant sort of donut circles there, those glazed circles of ground donut, we're gonna have a cloud soul, cloud rift for this game here. So cooldown reduction onto characters like JJ and Mako should really light up the ability for EDG to have a run in and fight option. Teleport coming in here from Zhao, who this could be a very interesting thing. Is he'd be forced to dash away, but we're gonna have like a three-way, like a two-way collapse here, and Ming and Gala gotta try to get past Scout, but I don't think it's gonna be a realistic option, honestly. Yeah, tower and mid lane from Scout's just going to mean that there's like almost no chance for the time being, or at least provide a lot of pretty easy pressure. So I think EDG is looking for mistakes from RNG, and RNG are just playing super grouped up and denying themselves a bunch of gold, a bunch of CS, and a bunch of XP. For not clearly a lot, like they're not going to kill Viper off of plays like this. Yeah, this game feels like it's actually getting a little one-sided or washed right now. Flandre about to get collapsed on 2v1. A little bit of overextension here. Shield Probe is going to proc, but that kill goes over to Zhao, and somehow he gets shutdown gold for that, which feels a little odd since he was 20 CS ahead of Flandre. Now it's kind of shrunk. Like, the advantages that RNG have had at certain points end up getting neutralized by their own decision making. Because Zhao Hu was like 40 CS ahead of Flandre, and then they just sat around mid for a while, just kind of rotating, looking for something or trying to verify Baron maybe, and it just hasn't worked. Yeah, Zhao Hu's teleport's down, but he's their split pusher. Like, he needs to be actually split pushing there. There should be more vision, more towards that bot side of the map. It's not like EDG haven't picked their side of the map, and it just feels like they're forcing RNG to show up to like contest for the vision or check that like they're not that EDG aren't taking Baron, and it just ends up buying like these aren't like playing to win plays from RNG. There's nothing proactive about it. It's reactive. It's playing a little scared, and it just kind of ends up meaning that EDG just get more and more time to scale and just collect gold, because eventually 4 3 items on Aphelios is going to mean more than 3 items on Gala, especially if the bullet time does not land across, 3 members of EDG and like take out, Viper or something like we saw in that I think it was earlier on in this match. Yep. So we got to see, JJ just walk on up and just contest, and Crying kicked out or kicked back into his jungle to just sit there and wait. And that's third Drake converted for EDG. And Ming gonna be a little caught out there. So yeah, this is a... Alright, RNG looking for the engage here right now. They gotta jump on top of the Olaf, but unfortunately the Stagger's Gauge is gonna prevent him from dying. Thank you for that shield. And like calling was the only thing used on the side of RNG. It looks like no flashes or anything, so they do at least get I guess an ult out. But like, Baron's up, and Olaf doesn't, drop Ragnarok to take Baron. If anything, he takes it to bring back his resistances and, have a shell of a human body that isn't going to be broken so easily. All right, 3 items complete on the side of Gala. Right now, actually, Viper has not backed yet. I'm pretty sure that stopwatch ended up actually really delaying his build. He's got the shield bow, he's got the collector. There's not much else to really be done. Is he going for Guardian Angel 3rd or something on Aphelios of all people? Because that feels really weird. That feels really off base. Like he should be going for IE for 3rd item here. It's like shield bow, LDR, and Infinity Edge. Like that's it. Like that's the play. And I debate if he knows that. Yeah. Now EDG, RNG's actually gotten the positioning, so they're starting up Baron. Gold's still 3k and EDG's advantage. Ming gonna try to wrap around to get some sort of flank angle. Crying trying to provide as much zoning as he can. He's gonna only route 1. The bullet time's not really gonna get much else done. Culling goes down here, but Zhao and Gala are at house. So is Wei. Ming sitting on the backside, but Viper is pretty happy to just face tank him. It's gonna get stolen actually here. JJ actually steals the Baron here. It's gonna be a 3v4 right now. Scott's going in here trying to actually get the conversion, but Gala is going to go down here. We're still fighting this one out here. It's gonna be a step forward. Mako and the Aphelios are still up and alive, and he's gonna be able to actually keep this rolling here. Viper is just about to actually root this one all the way down. Jungler goes down, and now it's time for Ming and Crying to run away, trying to keep whatever hope they have alive here. Baron buff is on Viper, and he's just going to hit his Q with his red gun and just be able to run them down. Ming, I don't know if you're going to be able to jump away from this, my friend. So that was actually insane because Viper ended up on what felt like on the wrong side of the fight or something. But EDG, they take Baron. Already at 1500 Red Bull power play gold advantage, and they're going to get Cloud Soul as well. Like, this is just so mental, this decision here from RNG, and I actually really want to watch Viper here because he actually ults forward here. He roots up the Misfortune, but the Misfortune ult doesn't really get anything else done. Ming's trying to actually like find the flank, and Viper's just ready to meet him. He goes in, Viper just dodges the whole situation and just starts auto attacking with the red gun, and then it's finally like I think he does get the shutdown there with the Q or something like that. And then eventually he just like jumps forward to help Scout finish off and secure the kill on the Gala, and at this point he's just like 1v3ing, and there's not much they can do here. Like Mr. 200 Years has arrived, is online, may not have the best item build situation, but he is going to kill all of you. And now we actually get to where EDG is going to keep stuffing out RNG here. I really think like this should inform RNG of like their biggest draft issue, and it's probably, and even like some in-game decision making, because like a lot of those kills should have gone over to get Zhao, who they should be able to keep doing something like that. But unfortunately, this is the world we live in for our game 3. RNG going to set up to take this inhibitor turret. And it's going to be their first inhib, and that's going to be far side inhib. It's going to be really hard to get to Baron for this. Oldtime's going to come out to try to... Well, it does actually clear out all the small minions from the minion wave. So EDG sitting with 20 seconds left on this Baron here. It's going to be time to go soon. And I don't think they're getting the angles that they want to actually just wipe RNG and win the game here, because it's like a 6,000 goldie, but I don't think all of it's really spent. Flandre's going to step up really hard, really forward. He's going to get actually secure killed by Gala. 1 auto, I think, was all that needed. Maybe a double up at the most, and now it's time for EDG to exit stage right. Okay. Let's see here. I'm just listening real quick.
Since all of those series, EDG now have Viper. 1 year change, Viper comes in for EDG, and all of a sudden they're back at Worlds for the first time since 2018, and all of a sudden they are poised to take the advantage in this series. I definitely think when you look at EDG is, we're looking at them now, we're going to see what happens with Flandre.
Oh, is actually going to keep going. And he does not here.
And sadly, EDG have to back off from this. Everybody's had that game. You know, you put in so much work. 35 minutes in, you're wearing Baron. You know you've got this one, and you're poking him around tower, around Nexus. It's going to give a little bit of an opening here at RNG, but it is the smallest window.
Yeah, smallest of windows, smallest of openings. But right now, there's not any neutrals really up. EDG have gotten like 8. And I think they're just going to be pretty happy to run this one down here. But Flandre about to get isolated out. Xiaohu looking for a play here. Ming's going to help him follow up on it. But Flandre's going to go golden. Now the fight's super devolved here. We have 2 fights on 2 different fronts here. Flandre is still up and alive here. Khan exhausted, but he's going to actually survive. Get the kill. Bullet time across 2, if not 3. And now EDG, this is actually a big dangerous moment right now. JJ needs to figure out where he wants to go. He's got his flash. He's going to actually try to get the confirmed kill onto Xiaohu. But Xiaohu, with the heal from Gala, actually wins this. And now Scout is just sniping out Xiaohu. I don't think he's going to be here long. He's going to actually scoop the Rakan over towards this team.
The bot lane wave goes to the turret, but that will not knock it down. It's so sad for RNG. They find the fight, but they actually don't have a way to look for ending the game. They don't have an objective to turn this into. And man, it just feels so rough. Xiaohu and Ming going in. Kobe, they did it. Just when you think you know they're closed out, RNG will always throw another punch. They break the glass on that window, make you think again. Are they going to be able to make the comeback? They did not complete on that comeback in the previous game, but they continue to fight for them, trying to pry open an opening. And this one is on.
This is a little bit of an overreach here. Like, Xiaohu does get the kill, but at this point, like, they're kind of like, EDG is allowed to collapse on this. And the only person that was really lost was Flandre. Yeah, this is a really good player from RNG, at least, especially the use of the bullet time. I'm very super surprised JJ didn't actually finish off Xiaohu here. The heal was like super clutch or something, but like I don't even think there was anything to burn it. And then Scout's here to clean it up. So either heads nor tails. Oh, Baron fight on deck here. Baron's up and available. This could be the game deciding Baron, because we are also 36 minutes into the game, and those death timers might be a little too long for most people's comfort. RNG is going to start up the Baron here. They have to force the issue here. They're making EDG come into them, and that's going to be a lot of damage across the board. Baron steal again. JJ does not miss here, does not care. Ming goes in for the engage to try to get something done here, but the rest of RNG are just so low. Wei is going to go in to try to buy some time here, but now Xiaohu trying to exit, trying to find a safe place, but unfortunately he's going to step into a bush where there's a ward. He's going to have to keep running, and I'm sorry, RNG, keep looking for these plays and keep looking for these objectives to take to really set themselves up here for a comeback, or for even to steal the game away from EDG. Bullet Time's going to kill off Flandre. Flandre not doing good in this game. He's 3-8-4. But I think EDG are pretty okay, pretty primed to take out this Nexus. It's going to be 4 up and available. Scout's making his way on in. And Gau's going to try to actually stand his ground here. Bullet time a far ways away from available. And I think there might be an overstep here. Viper's going to step a little bit too hard forward. Now it's going to be on the Scout to carry this one. Gau is still up and alive. And it's going to be a dead Cryon. Not much to be done there, but one rises, one falls, another one rises. Wei has returned, but stuffed. Ming trying going for the engage here, but Wei forced to go golden to buy a little bit of time. Gala not able to get the health pool he needs, not able to put out the damage he needs, and EDG will now take themselves a second win, putting themselves on series point. EDG take game 3. RNG, can they give us a game 5?